Hey guys, I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. I don't really celebrate it, but I do a lot of baking anyway. And I'm getting over being kind of sick. I don't know what the hell. It's like almost like a head cold or something. So bear with me with my raunchy voice here. I just want you guys to see something. I don't know why nobody else picked it out. It was really interesting because I was looking at something and boom, boom. I was like, well, wait a minute. It contradicts a story, but I want you guys to see this like interesting kind of cover up here. So I guess Donald Trump was married at this moment. So that would be one part of the reason why you might act this way. We're going to go read through something where I guarantee you mainstream did not go through it because it's on a site that deals with rock stars that are nasty. Like this whole other thing. It used to have it may still be there, all the inner dirt of these nasty, gross guys out here. And it used to be funny to go on this site, but I don't think I ever posted. I mean, I might have posted on there, but there were some nasty people on there. The one lady named Lourdes that wanted to target me, but she needs a therapist. So here's this. When did they meet? This photo was taken September 12th, 1989. When did Jeffrey meet Trump, right? I did another clip. I don't know if I'm putting it up, so if you hear me rehash it, just ignore. But I want to read through something because you're gonna see this weird conduct, and it doesn't make sense unless you realize, oh, they're trying to hide something. Because if you don't know that, reading it just sounds, I don't know, it still doesn't make any sense when you're reading it just as is. Okay, so what does she say? So a site called Metal Sludge, which used to be popular within the community, just for, well, we used to be able to say whatever we want. They did an interview with her, and why would they? Because she was related to JD Lane, and I talked about how we ran into her, and she was actually one of the witnesses. But I kind of want to tell you guys, she paints herself like she has nothing to do with the conduct of JD Lane, which is absolutely not true. I have another witness that was with me on this night, and it wasn't me doing all that, but it was funny as hell. At the time, it was funny as hell. But they walk into Alice's tent thing, and we're like, don't they have their own tent thing? It was a weird setup on this one show. So I went on the leg of the trip 3 times. So I went from San Diego this is when the shakedown happens to give them money, right? In the middle of the desert. It was this one. Yeah. So then the next one was in Las Vegas. And then we circle back around. And then I land in San Francisco at the other show there. So when we're in San Francisco, this whole other event with Janie and them happens, which I talked about. So it was on this particular tour that year. So she was with them. She had just married them. She wasn't as married as long as she's trying to spout off, and trying to bully Bobby Brown. Bobby, I don't like what she said. And I've never met Bobby. So it's not like, oh, this is my friend and I'm trying to defend her. We've never met. It was just funny when I was reading her stuff. I go, oh man, we have the same problem with the same people. So yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of interesting. She may not like me at all. Who knows? We've never met. Just clarifying that. So there's no, back thing over here. Like I'm going to go target this woman because of whatever crap. I had to read it because as I'm looking at this lady in the middle of it, she's like, knocking Bobby like here and there, and I'm just like, well, at least Bobby didn't lie about anything. It's a cover-up. Like, it's a cover-up. She gets questioned by the New York Times. So you guys want to know why he's targeting the New York Times? Because they caught his bullshit. And he actually is in contact with her. So she talks about this in this particular write-up. Now, they did a good job here because she feels confident just talking. Like, no one's going to... I don't understand the stupidity of this because why would you tell a publication that you guys met in late 1990 and there's literally a photo on Getty that says 1989 with them together? again, I've checked this a million times and I'm like, is this really in my face? I don't know how to say her name. Is it Roanne Brewer Lane? Anyway, that's Janie. She carries the Janie Lane's last name still. Even though I think, didn't he remarry? I don't even know what the hell happened here. But anyway, they all were drunk together. And they partook together. He's going to be with somebody that is an enabler because that's just where he was at in life at that time. He was being very obnoxious, egocentric. I'm like, a lot of things were going on right here with him. Now, I don't know the story in the background. You know, she was saying some things too, but I don't think those things are good excuses either to do harm to anybody. But I think what made this worse is when she came out and started talking. Now, I had an interest more on another individual she was trying to point out in the story because I touched on all these sexual assault conduct things. And I went through it again last night, and apparently someone said, no, she did lead on. It was Rob because she said some bullshit. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I could believe it. And we were going through the portions where he was speaking out, and I go, yeah, he's like Kevin Spacey, right? Of Metal. And he thinks it's fine. Other people were trying to defend it. And I'm like, good, if you try to do that, you're going to go to jail. So that was the problem in the community, is people getting people drunk and preying on them. Anyways, so that's how I got into this portion of the story, because it's not like I was this giant fan of Warrant or something, but I was on a leg of a tour, and they happened to be part of that tour. And I was like, who's this blonde? I think it's like one of these fans that he like picked up. I just thought that, but they had just newly married. Okay, so they were pretty much newlyweds at this point. You're talking months in. I forgot the month of this one. It might be in June. I don't know. I would have to pull out my thing. I can't give you a date right now, but it wasn't in the late part yet, because the other portion happened after in Nevada, where this cop shakedown happens when I'm with this camp. And it's still being looked at. Nothing's been answered for. So in the Jeffrey Epstein story, which is, we're finding out all these connections. Oh, and bravo, ladies, for speaking up and just running over government, because they're pals of you know what. What you're doing is putting the puzzle pieces together to the extension of why our cases were blocked all over the place. Okay, there's a lot of stuff in this. It's pretty extensive. Now, keep in mind, I've been on our stuff for almost 25 years. Almost 25 years. And I live it every day trying to take these dudes down. I mean, trying to get them held accountable. And in every part of government, there was these strange blockers and people lying, covering up, laughing at kids getting raped. I mean, we could go on for 25 years, all the conduct. But as they're speaking now, I didn't know there was going to be any further thing on this. I'm kind of like, whoa, you did it. You put the puzzle together. And it is not singly about the Jeffrey Epstein victims. They're very important in this, though, because they're going to lay out the network within our government in some way, because what you need to look at, because I know our story. So our story is a connector to these guys, right? So you need to look at the players and their connections to other people, how they use their power, and other victims from the guys that they're going to start showing and talking about. They have victims. So it's going to actually extend further out of Jeffrey's himself. These are people that were around actually longer than Jeffrey Epstein. So I said he's actually not the center of the universe. It's a really interesting thing. But these victims are going to figure it out, because the Mick Jagger thing over there is very dark and disgusting. And these victims may not know about this. So that was a newer, I was like, oh God. It just made me want to vomit. It was just too much information, because it just put kind of like, you had the puzzle pieces. You kind of assume that was probably happening, But I don't know, it just went after 25 years. It may not be clicking with them yet. It's clicking with me, but give it time. They're going to start going on this whole thing. So on this, I want to show you how she lied. And I don't like it. And to me, when somebody's lying, they have no credibility. And why would you lie, right? The big question is, why would you lie? I mean, there's a big reason why you would lie. And you don't need to lie 20 million years later if you cheated on his wife. She's no longer here, right? The one that was at this point. So why? Okay, so it's something else, right? Well, she claims that they met at Mar-a-Lago in late 1990. This was her claim. And we all just ran with it. I think everybody ran with it. The media ran with it, everybody. But I don't get why they ran with it, because all I did was do a search. And I seen this photo and I was like, oh, where's that at? And then I was like, when's that dated? And then it goes to 89. I'm like, wait, what? And I had just listened to her speak. And it wasn't pointed out. And you need to know why there's a lie. I don't believe it's a mistake. And you'll see that Donald calls her up. And it's really peculiar. And they both start targeting the New York Times. So this is why they started targeting the New York Times. And, see, you shouldn't have been a part of my case, because I would have missed this completely. It was just the importance. Like, who the hell knows her, right? It was so funny, you guys. You guys would totally just laugh at this. I was trying to look her up going, who is she anyway? And then it said she's most known for working with Corey Feldman. And I was like, oh, my bar's so high. I was like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, this is a joke. At this point, so the photo that's dated with her with Vanilla Ice in the back of a limo with Honey is dated November 1st in 1990. So that's the time period she's trying to say she started dating Trump. But she would be with Vanilla Ice here, honey. So this is the crazy thing. I love Getty because Getty has pictures of an event that I was at. I don't know if that girl's me in the photo. If it is, I'm totally mad at it. That picture's so awful. I was like, I didn't look like that then at that point in time. But it's just possibly that one moment where it gets a bad angle and it just looks horrific. It just is. But anyway, for me, whatever. It doesn't matter. I was like, don't make me look at this horrible, like, yeah, anyway. Everybody feels that way, I think, on their own pictures half the time. It's just, I hate seeing it. I was like, I swear that's me, because I had my hair all ridiculous like that at a point. I bleached like one side higher, and then like the bottom part like had the blonde, but it was growing out. And then, I don't know. It grosses me out, like the whole thing, because I'm a kid there. And these guys, I was just 16 years old, like 2 weeks prior to this thing. And these guys want a kid. Okay, so, and the guy came in from New York, by the way. The perpetrator here was initially from Buffalo, New York. And he came in here. I don't know when he moved into California. I'm assuming before 86. I'm not totally clear on that further back history there. So she wants to complain. Let's see what she says. They go, we've known each other a long time, Roanne. But I never knew you had dated Trump. Yeah, because she's going to be a woman of, of lies, okay? How do you know this woman for a long time? You didn't know she dated Trump, right? Okay, so they go, there's no way I won't vote for Donald Trump. This is her response to that. There's no way I won't vote for Donald Trump. I think he'll do a great job. I believe that 100%. Okay, so now she's using this as a way to promote Donald Trump to get voted. When I was 26 and he was 44, I mean, at least she's not like, 18 or some crap. I mean, the hookup itself, if it was just a normal thing, it wouldn't even be a story, okay? So she's 26, he's 44. We don't know how they actually met, okay? But this is what she says. This was in 1990 at the end of the year, starting in like October, maybe November. Yet we're just looking at a picture with her with Vanilla Ice. Okay? It's dated 1990, Getty. So these are hard facts. So the only way it could be wrong is if somebody who uploaded on Getty decided to manipulate the date, or they put the wrong date, right? So this is the only way that could be wrong. But we have two pictures. We have November 1990, and she's with Vanilla Ice, and then we have a picture of her with Donald Trump in 1989, dated there. So, she says this was in 1990 at the end of the year, starting in October, maybe November. It was still warm enough to have a pool party in Palm Beach, Florida. I remember that much. She was at Mar-a-Lago, which it isn't stated in this thing right here, I don't believe, but it is stated elsewhere, just letting you guys know. You've really been kind of thrust into the limelight now in New York Times and CNN and all that stuff. She's like, it's really nothing new. I was sucked into the limelight when I dated him too. It was very public because it was right after he was getting a divorce. Well, not 1980. I don't know. Okay, so she says this, right? Oh, this is totally after their divorce. For the first time after building the long-time empire with Ivana. So like I said, anytime it's Donald Trump, they dig up a bunch of stuff. The media, it was major back then. But yeah, what I did not expect was this level of attention, if you will. But he's running for president. So the New York Times wanted to do a piece on me and a lot of others. Inside Edition did one. The press come back around. And anyone who has been around him for any length of time, there's always an issue. You can't get bigger than the New York Times. The New York Times, they called me, Jerry? Okay, they said, we're doing a piece on Trump. It's not about you. We want to talk to you and all these others about Trump, mainly women. And this is a direct quote. They said to me, we're doing it so that the voters can get a better idea of both candidates, looking at Democrats and Republicans. And they knew I had experience with Donald, so they called me. I told them that my experience with Donald was a positive one. So if you're looking to do a hit piece, I'm the wrong person. Okay, so this is what she's saying right now. But know that Trump had already talked to her and all this other stuff. Okay, so just take it with a grain of salt. This is what she's saying. If you're looking to do a hit piece, so I'm the wrong person, so nothing negative. I figured they might spin something I said because people want to know things, but here is where they made a grave mistake. It ended up that I was the lead antidote to the whole story, and that really made me mad. And I told people at the New York Times that they spun lies from everything, and I said that no one should believe it. It was a knee-jerk reaction. Honey, if you talk to them, you gave them some content. Our problem with the media is actually kind of a different thing. It's not like they added in a lie into my story. It's that they manipulated me into doing the story and outing me a child victim in the story, which they should have never done. And it was revolving around these investigation things. And I said, if you put my name out there, then you put me at risk. So if you're going to put my name out there, the only way I'm going to allow you to run the story is if you talk about the cop thing and the cops were at the fire thing. And they said, yeah. So they did, and I agreed to it because they said they were going to put the whole story, that whole portion there. But they decided to leave that out, just out me. And then I end up getting thrown in a gutter, right? Because the cops were there. And they're in the middle of investigating, right? We're not even done investigating. So they put my safety at risk, and they outed a child victim. So this is all connected, the cop thing, everything, okay? So that was my issue with it. They didn't put a lie. Like they didn't, say some story that wasn't true. It's like they put what I said, but they didn't put everything, okay? So it makes the story manipulated. Her thing is bullshit. So this is interesting thing is usually the New York Post. Oh, and mind you, the New York Post has targeted me and banned me from their site for no F reason. So I just want to let you guys know that. So know that it's owned by the pedos. But that was an interesting thing. I actually didn't know that. The comment section is so horrific. I don't even think I could top any comment to be more offensive, right? So we were just talking and I'm pulling out things. I go, that's not right, dude. Whatever. And I'm countering some of those comments. Yeah, so they decided that I'm not allowed on there to post. So they're a bias reporting site. So I try not to reference them anymore because that's just ridiculous. So anyway, that's sensationalizing everything, not the New York Times. So now they're turning the New York Times into terrible reporting, but the New York Post looks like the Inquirer, right? Like it's just ridiculous. But it says the New York Times is known for being more conservative, the way they put Mr. in front of names, stuff like that. Did you see the New York Post story on me yesterday? It was great. They got it all perfect word for word. It was a great article. Yeah, because you guys are all buddies. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Okay, so then they put, I love the Post too. They're like, yeah, because they're trashy mag, right? So yeah, they did a great job, the senior editor writer. Okay, so we know who's friends. Well, actually, my background is in newspaper. I wrote for the LA Daily News for like 20 years. Okay, yeah. Okay, she's like, yeah. But I have to ask you a question or two that maybe I wouldn't ask if this was a newspaper because it's, metal sludge. You know what I mean? Oh, I know what you mean. So you got to ask the about the accusations that Donald Trump has small hands, if you know what I mean, because you would know. And do you have a comment about Donald Trump maybe having small hands? So she laughs. I do find that kind of funny. I get a kick out of it, but no, I don't have any comment. Donald and I in the bedroom. It might have been great had we stayed together, but let's just say there are certain things that you have in the bedroom and we didn't have it. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like beep. Okay, so I better be careful what I say, be real careful. I've said many times, it wasn't fireworks. There you go. So she is walking on eggshells, guys. Can you not tell that right there? I would have no issue going, my ex is totally shit. I mean, I was like, it's not proper to talk in the media about that, but if you're going to go there. Okay, so she goes down. Let's see. What about his personality? Do you enjoy being around him? Was it fun? Oh, he has so many qualities. I was with him 3 months. Okay, so now she's saying she was with him for 3 months. She's alleging she was with them around October, November, December, or November, December, January, or December, January, February. Somewhere in there. She's saying this 3 months. This is her claim. And it was never about money. I was quite taken aback. He was a big, powerful businessman. So you would expect something different, but he was actually extremely funny. That's interesting because you later married Janie Lane. I don't even know how this happened. It's so weird. Okay, so of course, and he was a really funny guy too. Janie had a great sense of humor too. Did you guys like getting the your room trashed? If I need to explain that story again. So we had extra passes, so I decided to give it away to somebody, and my friend helped me pick somebody, and she's like, that guy. So she goes and gives him this pass, and he's like totally crazy, like Chris Farley off the wall, like crazy, crazy fan, right? So she gives him the pass for me, and then he is so happy. Like, you couldn't make this guy's day any better. So he goes backstage, and we didn't see him again. We just, here, go, have fun. And then we did something else, and then I guess out of nowhere, like, they started getting security to get him the hell out, but he went into Janie Lane's, like, area in his room thing, something like that, and trashed the shit out of it. He, like, went in there and started throwing shit everywhere, I guess. And my friend's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm like, what? And then they had to, like, I think they took him out and, like, booted him out or something. But yeah, he destroyed their little room thing. Did you guys enjoy that? Like, nobody planned it though. Like, there wasn't any, like, evil plot to do that. It was just some random fan that was out of control. He was probably on drugs and shit. We're just like, we don't know anything. It was funny at the time. This is funny at the time. Okay, so that's true. Janie was hilarious, and I like funny people. Do you think I'm funny? I thought that was funny. Okay, so funny men. They're like the ones who usually get my attention. Guys like pretty girls, but it's always better for women to be okay. I hate how she talks about women. It's just But anyway, to also be intelligent and funny, and I like humor. I don't think anybody that Donald Trump has picked has been extraordinarily uh anyway, so tell me, and I was like the classy one in this camp of clowns, by the way. I mean, besides, that little situation, but I didn't do it. So, okay, so tell me more. Where were you and Donald Trump hanging out most of the time? Was it in New York City? Is all he owned a lot of places at the time. So we were in Atlantic City, a lot of the Trump Towers in Atlantic City, and it was the Taj Mahal site suite. And I remember we went to Mike Tyson fight there. That was an extremely fun fight night. Okay. She's like, really? That's awesome. Who did okay, the fight thing. It's like, who cares? Okay, we had some spectacular evenings and a couple of foul moments because there were always a million flash bulbs flashing around him. But one of my favorite nights was all just staying in and eating Thai food and watching ice skating on TV. Oh, he sounds like a joy. Actually, I used to like watching ice skating, but like in real life because I was a huge fan of that little guy. I like that little guy. Scott, what's his name? I can't even think of his name right now. Anyway, just laying around like normal teenagers. I remember it because it was such the opposite of the media frenzy. She's like, honestly, I don't remember for sure, but I think so. I think I was at the Trump Tower. Okay, next I have to ask your financial situation. Were you well off back then? Or were you struggling like the rest of us? I was modeling and making six figures back then. Okay, so here's some questions. Like, who are you modeling for and what agency? And you know what I mean? Because there's some questions and revolving around the Jeffrey thing as well. So, this is what she's saying. She made six figures back then. That's a lot. Back then, what most girls dream about. I had always been doing it for several, I had already been doing it for several years. So I had met a lot of people with a lot of money and I was single. Okay, so all the dudes were preying on all these models. I already knew about this portion, so we were talking about this, but let's see some names they throw out. So I met a lot of people with a lot of money and I was single. John Johnson, Sly Stallone, and a lot of people who had money. That's what you keep saying. It's like people who had money and a lot of people who had money and a lot of people who had money. Okay, just one of those things. So I wasn't compelled to marry somebody just because they had money, but he has to have a lot of money. Okay, so I was busy working every day, booked out a month and a half in advance, but I had my sights on LA, and one of the reasons was I wanted to get into acting. So this was my plan when I had first went to New York City to model up there, and I ended up flying around on Trump Air. I don't know. But by the way, was Donald Trump a rock fan? Did he like rock and roll? Do you remember? I remember he doesn't dance. Okay, so this gets weird. Here it is. I remember he doesn't dance. We went to Christmas parties all over New York, and I wouldn't take any dancing pictures. I was very careful when we were out and about. And I was reading them like, what? But if you go to that 1989 portion, okay, if you reread that, then it's like, oh yeah, you don't want to be seen out with Donald because it's going to make rounds, right? Like taking photos. He doesn't want her to take photos or something. Like there's something right there, right? Doesn't that read weird? Okay, they're doing some sneaky crap or something. His interests were old classic movies. Okay, and Olympics. Oh, he sounds like a major rager and stuff like that. I remember ice skating because I think it was the Olympics or something, the Winter Olympics. You got to remember, we were chilling in 1990 back before people had cell phones. Oh, you know what? I'll look at something. So why were there no pictures? And that's why there's no pictures. Yeah, but people still had cameras then. People had car cell phones, which I would assume he did. My brother had one. My dad had one. I was not allowed to have one. Okay, so when we were alone, the last thing we wanted to have a camera around because there were a million pictures taken all the time in public. If Donald Trump gets elected president, will you help out with fixing some speeding tickets? Um, will he help you out of fixing some speeding tickets? Okay, so here's the thing. I don't have any speeding tickets, but we did speak the other day. And he called me. So pay attention to this action here. So it's so interesting. So the media thing happened. They've been talking a lot. You could tell. They be going on and on and on. And she's out here promoting them to get, voted for. And she's saying the New York Times is terrible, liars, even though these stories are not coming together properly. And then it says, if you need me, contact campaign spokesperson Hope Hicks or Corey, who is his campaign manager, and he was very personable. And we talked for about 10 minutes. 10 minutes? He said if I ever need anything, that I had a lot going for me. And he said, if you need me, contact me. Do you see this manipulation? He did it to Sharon too. He did it to other people. And you don't need to make a threat. You don't need to do anything. It's like, I'm here for you. Do you need anything? Do you want something? I'll do anything that you need. So, but we don't know the deeper of this conversation. This is her version telling us this, okay? He goes, how did he know to reach out to you? How did he have your cell number? Okay, so let's see what she says. Probably called someone in the media because the media has been all over me and everybody at the TV stations. They all have my cell phone number. The media is not supposed to be handing your number out to random people. This is bullshit. Do you guys believe that? The media cannot be handing out your phone number to Donald Trump or anybody. I couldn't call the media and go, hey, you talked to, so and so. Can you give me their number so I could call? I would sue the media. Like, what the hell? She's so full of shit. Every time I go through her story now, it's like, oh my God, she lies all the time. Do you guys see it? It was like weird. I was like, oh my God, I don't think she could ever tell the truth. I need to find out when that Olympic thing was, but so you have Donald Trump's cell phone number. He called you on his cell. They go, he gave me his number. Yes. Okay, so she's going to be answering like that. What area code is it? 212? This is stupid. He lives in New York. Of course it'd be 212. Why is she asking that? So let me get this straight because I think we have a scoop here. Donald Trump has a 212 cell number. You are so funny. Yes, it's New York. How much longer after Donald Trump did you meet Janie? Okay, so then it just turned into this weird thing. Janie had divorced Bobby Brown in the Northridge earthquake. Okay, I moved to the OC. This is when I meet Michael Sweet. Like I meet Michael Sweet as a fan. And then everyone was out of power. And then they went out to Bar One on Sunset Boulevard. And then, yeah, and I wanted to stay far away from that area at that time because there's a bunch of rapists. Okay, so you mean Bar One on Sunset? Yeah, we've been stuck in the house all day and we went there. Okay. Man, the setup on this day was kind of effed up because I guess, like, when she shows up at this bar, they go, excuse me, this gentleman over there wants to buy you a drink. But they're, and I said, but they're free. He said, his are good, take it. So then he points over and it's Janie doing shots from across the bar and he was given big cheers from across the bar. I guess he was on a date and he had his people send her away or something and then they hooked up. It's a hot mess. I don't know. The whole thing's bad. Anyway, that part's not. Oh, and then she starts bagging on, okay, Bobby Brown, starts going into that, and then insinuating she was doing stuff that she probably wasn't. And just stuff. It's not good. So they go, he struggled so much with drinking, though. Towards the end, he kept getting arrested for drunk driving, which I believe she was the one that we seen go into the vehicle, and they were both drunk, I believe, and they drove off like that. And I was like, holy crap. And this is in 2002. And I was out with my friend And it might, I don't know if that's the night I got my lip pierced. It might have been. Oh, that was awful. Like I got really sick in that place. It's like on the corner, like next to the whiskey. Yeah, and they did such a horrible job. I still have a like a little nodule thing like on the inside. Oh, I almost passed out. It was so bad. Just getting it done, and then it gave me a lisp and everything. I had to finally take that piece of crap out. So, they said he really did try for a while. He didn't make it. He had two hit and run accidents. And were you in one of those? Because that was crazy ass. And my friend points it out. She's like, "Oh my God, he's gonna drive. Oh my God, he's gonna drive." I was like, yeah, and he did. He took off going past the whiskey towards west, going west on Sunset there. Janie does what he wants to the end. Wait, and it turned into a disaster. And when I filed for divorce, I was really concerned for his well being because nothing was right and nothing was working. And everyone in the family tried to help. But you know, Janie does what he wants till the end. And that's why he was in a hotel by himself when he died. It was not the first hotel where he was drinking by himself. There were times probably where he didn't care what happened, and it was unfortunate and reckless situation that made everyone concerned for his well-being. It was scary for everyone involved, even after the divorce. And I spoke to him almost every day, and I was speaking to his third wife on a daily basis, and she didn't know what to do. My daughter was there, and Janie was my only marriage, and she is our only daughter, and blah 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 blah. Okay, so she's of age now. Yeah, but did you tell him that when you guys started out together, you guys didn't have an issue together? So I mean, he was drunk that whole time because when I seen this, that was the beginning of your marriage. Like that was the beginning of your marriage, and that was going on. Me personally, I would not want a kid with an alcoholic. We had an alcoholic father. That was not something I would want to put a kid through. And this group of people just, I mean, she's saying she was out drinking, and then Janie goes, to drink some shots with her. I mean, that's how they're meeting, is him being a drunk. I mean, that's really it. I was like, yeah, the one place you probably don't want to meet, the one place that you probably don't want to meet a guy is at a bar, right? If you don't want a drunk father, like a drunk dad, a drunk husband, a drunk boyfriend. Okay. It doesn't pan out again. There were no Olympic Games in 91. There was no Olympic Games in 1990. There's no Olympic Games in 1989. She's full of shit. I have no idea. You guys, her story does not pan out, and it throws me off because I'm like, see, I go, even when she's all, what was going on? Because I went to go see, oh, Scott Hamilton. I actually went to go see him in Anaheim because I was such a huge fan. I was like, come on, dude. Come on, baby. I really used to love Scott Hamilton. I don't know why, but that's a weird thing of mine. So, no, I thought he was really great and he was funny. And I went to Stars on Ice. Was it Stars on Ice? I don't know. It was in Anaheim. It was at this thing. And that was going on. But I don't see no Olympic thing. So, not even in all the years she's saying. I was looking at 89, 90, 91. Stars on Ice. Stars on Ice was founded by Scott Hamilton in 1986, and the 1989 tour was part of the growing legacy. I guarantee you it was Scott Hamilton. Yeah, 1989. I believe because see, I'm a fan of his, so you guys wouldn't even think this out unless you were a huge fan of Scotty. But yeah, oh, that was great watching him flipping around and everything. Like nobody wanted to do anything with me, so I go by myself to these like weird things. But I didn't go in 1989. I think it was 94. Let me see. Where were you at, Scott? I was trying. While specific Anaheim dates aren't immediately detailed, this tour was highlight of the year. Yeah, well, I believe it was between 94 and 95, but I mean 84, 80, I mean 94, yeah, 94. 94 and 95. 5, and then I went to that event. It was so nice. It was so nice. That was actually a nice thing. So we don't go do the bar thing, go hang out and go watch ice skating in person. So she's a little confused, I think. So I think 1989 Stars on Ice. It sounds right, right? Stars on Ice, Scott. She's confused. She's not into the ice skating, you could tell right now. So, but I would have been way down with this, and I do not even say we're compatible on any level, because I would have been bored with him though, with this whole like, let's just hang out and watch TV. I just do this thing. It's like, no, we got to do something, man. I'm going to make you go ice skating. Because I went ice skating out there too. So I never ice skated before, and I did so good. I was so proud of myself. And the reason why that happened was because I used to roller skate, and I thought it would be, I don't know, I thought it was going to be really hard transferring from that to just going on the ice, and I was able to turn around and everything. I didn't fall. And I was like, actually like ice skating better, but nobody wants to go with me. It's never fun by yourself. I mean, you could go do it, but I went by myself that one day, and then I did really well, and then I wanted to go a lot, and then nobody ever wanted to go. So I was like, well, it sucks, dude, but what can I do? Yeah, watch me now. I'm gonna totally face plant it. I was like, I don't know. It's been that long. Yeah, me and my brother used to do like those synchronized roller skating things. We had costumes and everything. We took classes, so we were doing the couple skating thing. So you do the routines with the couples, and so we used to do that, and then yeah, that was such a long time ago. Like nobody does that anymore. Nobody does that. All right, so that's her in a nutshell, and you should question why she is a liar. I'm dead serious. Oh, she also said that men. Okay, this was a dog on Bobby, and I was getting so pissed at this because I was like, I wouldn't want any woman talking to me like this. She tried to claim that she did like 4 albums or something with Janie. I have no idea, but she's like, you need to let the man shine. And it's like, if I did 4 albums with Janie, I'm gonna kick his ass, and he better like at least acknowledge me that I did have the work here. I think any woman would do that. So then it just tells you more about her character and her role with men. And no, Bobby could say whatever the hell she wants. If she was with him for a year and when he passed away and did a book, she has every right. That's part of her life, right? She was most known with Janie Lane. Nobody knew this girl. I'm sorry, but nobody knew her. It just so happened to be my story that I seen the girl. But no, when you think of Janie, you think of Bobby. And that was very famous. And so she had that makes the most sense for her to speak out, because that was probably like the biggest highlight of his career. Even though he may be angry at it, it is the thing that catapults him into this sort of success, right? Like to this level. I mean, that was a big thing on TV. Not saying that everybody liked it, but you knew it. No matter what, you could hate it, but you knew it. So, no, that's her legacy. And that's how we know her, right? That's how I knew who she is. I mean, so I think this woman's just jealous. I mean, she was just bagging on it. She's like, he hates that. He didn't want anything to do with that. Doing this crap? Yeah, so it tells you a lot about her nastiness. Like, it's just like, you really want to teach your daughter to treat other women like that? I mean, I don't know what the hell the problem was there. But I wouldn't have problems talking to the ex. I mean, I don't ever want to get back with any of those dudes. So what I mean? So it's not that. Like, I'm never a threat like that. I wouldn't even care. But to go to the level of, we need to stand back and let men just run us over, basically. And then it's just like, oh, Donald, we got to let him shine. So I got to lie and take back some of my story because yada, yada, yada. And I love the cross picture. You just got to throw the cross in there because, all these people and their nastiness, because I don't think that's very Jesus-like either. You're supposed to be nice. But I don't follow that, so we don't have those rules. But that's basically, they're supposed to be kind even still. And just the nastiness and just saying like she's doing all these things and blah. It's just a catty jealousy thing. No, and I listened to Bobby. I was like, she sounds pretty cool. You're making me feel bad. Bobby made me feel bad, like just like jogging on these stories, but she wasn't there. Like she literally didn't see this portion from when they get a divorce to what the hell these two were doing. And I was like, no, they were obnoxious as hell and drunk and whatever. But, outside my view, it's like, I'm not really focused on these idiots. It's just like, I'm there and I'm with the camp, that's doing the tour. And this was just one of the few times where on this particular tour, I was kind of allowed to roam free because I had my other friends with me. So on this bout in 80 and in 97, yeah, I had my school friends. She came all the way out here in 97 and went to this San Diego thing with me. So she was with me, and I don't know where the hell he went on this particular one. Like we were in the back and then he took off, and then on this one we went into this like tent. There was nothing to do. I mean, it was pretty like I mean, there wasn't any action going on up until these fools walked in, and I was like, why? Then she's like, why are they in this tent? Doesn't he have his own? I go, I don't know, like what the hell? And then they were like all over each other, just being obnoxious. But we assumed it's probably a fan, some girl like he met. We didn't even know. No, no. And then on the next show, I bring that pile of you know what chick with me, and she disappears, and I end up in the back, and he's starting to pull the whole Clockwork Orange shit on me and rubbing up on me and stuff. But when I have my friends with me, he kind of backs off a little bit, but he has done stuff in front of them too, but not to the extent of that. See, when I'm alone, we're in deep shit. And then we go on the next one, and then I had one, two, three. I had three people with me at that one, and he disappears. Okay, so on that particular one, he disappears. So we're just roaming back. I don't even remember what the hell we did back there, but there was like a bar, there was tons of people, and it just seems like a blur. Like we just kind of stood around going, yeah, something weird. And then all the events were, revolving around dude trashing a Warrant's room and, whatever. It was just like dumb. I do not remember anything else after that. I don't remember talking to anybody. I don't remember nothing. I just remember being there and just, it was a crowd of tons of people at that one. And then he was MIA. He cannot be around me when my friends are like, it's because he's gonna get caught like with his conduct around me. Like he's more on I don't know, like he's on alert. But he did prey on me with my other friend there in the 96 one. So he knows that girl because he called her house. But yeah, he did the similar thing too. Like he finds me in the audience and she actually seen it. But then in the back, he disappeared on that particular one. So he tries not to do too much in front of people I know. But then at the end, he totally lost his shit. So, I mean, to my ex, right? So I was like, yeah, see, I bring a man this time. He's losing it, saying other guys are my boyfriend. And just see, that's what happens. If I'm by myself, then I risk getting molested by him. But then, yeah, I've always tried to bring my friends with me. Like I brought him also in San Diego on another round. And then I brought the one that reminds me of Brittany. She looked like Brittany, little Brittany. And yeah, she was like, she's fun to hang out with up until we get kidnapped, but like we're over at this thing and she, yeah, she was so out of it. I was asking her, I was like, that dude totally likes me. Can't you tell? Some crap on the car. She's like, totally out of it. Doesn't even get like the passive aggressive shit that he's doing. And I'm like, oh great. So then after that, I don't know, we stopped talking or she moved away. It was something weird. She was actually from Connecticut. And then I don't know, I didn't talk to her after that. I think she went back home. Something weird. She was being weird. But then yeah, and then he's like trying to come into my work. She wasn't there at that point. So yeah, I think she did. I think she did move back. Yeah, and then he calls and this bullshit he was gonna set up coming into my workplace. He was having a fit, you guys. It was just the whole thing to it. He's like trying to break me up with the guy that I was dating from the band, and then that worked. I was like, that worked, I guess. No loss to me. There was nobody I was like, oh my God, I want to spend my life with this dude. I was just like, he's really cool. I don't think we're compatible as far as like romantically, but I was like, we're really cool, like hanging out. So why couldn't we just be friends? I mean, what the hell? But anyway, these two idiots, were going at it and then caused major disruption with my career. Thank you. Because they want to go at it. And then, but I have nothing to do with that. They're just idiots. I mean, both of them, the perpetrator and that dude with Elton. I was like, see, that's the bullshit you guys don't know about. And if you were there, there's a lot of witnesses to that. That's what I'm saying. I go, we're going to be pulling in Gene's drummer. We're going to be pulling. Yeah, you see all the people that are in my story. Watch this. This was the thing. I'm like watching all the people that are in my story, like the witnesses, the anybody connected. They all went over to Trump, and I was like, these people are so scared. That's a scared move. That move right there is showing I want to make sure I'm protected, and he's going to protect me. And I'm just like, and Trump's not actually like directly in our story. It's just these are their pals and these are their friends. But they have this mentality that if we go hang out and support Trump, we're going to all be protected. But knowing his personality traits, well, I'm sure he's not going to be happy me pulling this up, but it's just the truth of the matter. I'm there. It's not that she's not saying the truth on things. But he will go target them. Yeah, and sometimes he'll pretend that he's gonna not do that, and then he could turn around and totally sideswipe him like he did Jeffrey Epstein, but it had nothing to do with um what he's claiming. So he did you go to the FBI? Did you go tell FBI? And whenever you said it wasn't cool, whenever you said you stopped talking to him? No, because that's not why they got into a fight. Like, he's mad because probably the similar reasons to my perpetrator, where he believes that women are property, and that Jeffrey's crossing a line of taking his girls. Like, that he could get mad at that because he thinks of them as property, such as the other camp that thought of me as a property. And then somebody else comes in and they want to start, fighting, amongst each other about it. But not that I'm a kid, or was a kid at the time initially, and that I'm a victim to these people. They don't care about that. I mean, it's really the placement of whatever bullshit, and probably some business stuff, because there was a discussion, what did they say, something about properties, buying up a property, and that Trump wanted or something. Yeah, and so then it becomes business filth, and it has nothing to do with these victims. And I think the victims could see that, what's going on. I feel so bad. Like, I didn't know there was anything further. I truthfully thought it was just going to be the stupid crap with, the same people they've been saying. They did not throw out Mick Jagger. I did not see no Mick Jagger crap before. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, okay. Yeah, it starts opening a door to everything. Like, to everything, you guys. You'll see it. I already see it. I already see it. It was like, boom. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Because I got 25 years of information in my brain. More than that. We got information since 1991. So everything that had transpired since 1991 till now, I have all this information, and it's like all in pieces. And it's like you're trying to make sense of it, because it's like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why are the cops trailing me trying to get money all the time? Like, it's this level of I need to stay in fear. But that actually may be tailed off from a other situation, but that situation still is connected with other celebrities. So, I don't know if it's going to answer, the cover up in a drug ring, those things, but the other conduct here, totally. It's like, why they knew I was with them. So I had my credentials on me and they're like, give me some money. And it's like, excuse me, I'm not giving you anything. So, these things are going on. Also, they didn't mention, I seen a new video, so they didn't mention about California. Jeffrey Epstein did come to California. He came into Morro Bay. I mean, not Morro Bay, Monterey. Monterey, and I believe Los Angeles, but they have very limited information right now about the Los Angeles area stuff. So when I was a teen, I went to the modeling school and I was talking about that, and there was some connection to one of the guys getting busted from one of the agencies, I believe, that may have been there. And I got picked out from an agency. I can't remember the name of them for the life of me. I have a general idea where they used to be at. They were located on Sunset Boulevard. They were another big agency, but they were a cross doing commercials and print work. And then they gave me shit when I went in because I missed the first setup. And they told me that's the biggest no-no you could ever do on planet Earth. And I was like, yeah, but man, I got all nervous and I left the address at home and I told him, tell him I was in a car accident, man, and to reschedule because I don't know where it's at. I couldn't reach anybody. I'm like, where's the address? I'm like over here, but I thought I brought the paper with me and I didn't. And, and I was freaking out and I was like, they picked me out of all these girls, man. But now I'm like totally like I used to be kind of upset about it, but as time has gone on, I was like, all these people are predators. Like I think it still would have landed somewhere bad. I do. I just do. Because I mean, out of all the girls, they picked me and they didn't pick anybody else for that agency. And then there was only like one or two maybe that went to like Ford or so, one of the other, runway, they're looking for runway. So they took the runway girls. And, I mean, technically, yeah, they saw me as a model, but I did not fit the criteria for runway supermodel type of crap. So they looked at me and said, "Oh, print work all day long." Yeah, but I, got screwed up. So it's okay. I'm like, it's okay that happened. I was so on top of everything. I was so I think it was just being so nervous because they put the fear in me. They're like, if you mess up one little thing, then that's the end of your career. And it got me to the point of being so much anxiety about it that I leave the address at home. I mean, it just totally, it's just the whole thing. They shouldn't have done that to me. It's just like, it's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? It's okay. Like if I go in and they go change their mind, that's okay. It's not a big deal. It literally is not a big deal. But they build you up like that and then yeah, it's the whole thing about it. And plus I'm a teen there. I'm like 18 right there. No, I think there's gonna be about a million more story. I honestly, okay, so Mick Jagger alone probably has a bazillion victims, okay? We see him all the time, people talking about it. They keep being okay with it and they're promoting more and more generations of child sexual predators because of it. But yeah, he has, oh, I wouldn't even know a count of like how many minors. And to show him with Jeffrey is just like, ugh, I know what's going on. Because that tails into our story. And that's why I'm like, okay, you guys need to understand. I have spent 25 years at this bullshit. I have been blocked, lied to, degraded, I mean, targeted. The targets are insane. Like the targets are done through government. So I'm trying to lay it out to you guys. Government was targeting the survivors. And I kept calling it out. And I go, oh, they're going at it again. Now, I don't know how FBI operates. Here's the thing about FBI is so weird. Okay, so the idiots that I had talked to are just that. But inside, because they have thousands of employees, okay? So I don't know if there's a thing where heads are butting, because you could have somebody right now in FBI and they see all the perpetrators, right? They're like, oh, totally, we checked it out. She's telling the truth, blah, blah, blah. And this person should, go down. They could be like that, right? And then they want to do something. Is somebody above them able to block it and stop them from doing it? See, these are inner questions that you guys should be asking, because I have seen this within even LAPD, where it's like there's these people, like they want to go at people, right? Like they're not corrupt or whatever. They got their job because they want to be, good citizens, whatever. But in the mix of it, there's so many corrupt people that they can't get past them. And you saw it in the sheriff gang thing too, where they want to out them, but they can't out them and they're being blocked. And I would think that dynamic may be going on there. I don't know, because when they're pulling out some of these paperwork things, I'm like, yeah, they're saying there's like 10 conspirators and that none of them got arrested. Okay, well, then it's telling me that somebody on the inside was trying to go at him. So then it would appear somebody else may have blocked it. Yes. And so I'm like, okay, see, this is the crap you guys didn't deal with. I had to deal with the government portion. And I'm like, yeah, there's all kinds of crazy crap. They're laughing back there, child getting raped. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, this is disgusting. And you just said that Cosby was never going to get busted and you're laughing about it. Okay, so we got some shit going on. So I'm trying to put it together, because that thing right there was out in YOLO. And I'm like scratching my head going, was Cosby like a regular in Yolo County? I mean, why are you guys going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just there's stuff about it. And yeah, and then you start seeing it looks like there's a network. I mean, at some point there it did. But you couldn't I guarantee you, probably in this case, as they're pointing out more things like that, you may start to put it more together. I mean, a whole lot got put together just with even making them up in there. And I was like, you know what? Like, you know what? That dude should have been arrested about 10 million years ago, before I was even born. Okay, so you protected that dude to no end. I don't even want to hear it. The public protected him, so the public's not even on, oh, the government's corrupt because we're all down with raping some teenagers, some minors. So we're not going to push that. Government should go arrest Mick. We love his music, right? That was kind of what was going on here. But you see right here, no matter what you think of his music, he's a damn pedophile. And they're going to connect, and they live in their universe. Now, we don't know if they're swapping kids or anything like that, but they're still going to connect. Okay, and they're going to help each other out. So I was like, yeah, I already see it. I see it. I see it. So hopefully the victims of the baby groupie, that child human trafficking ring from a long time ago, they started coming around though. Well, I was talking about it and I was mighty pissed at them because they're promoting that crap on me. But at some point in the Me Too era, they were saying that they started being more cynical about the whole thing. So it can take time for survivors to view that properly. And I don't know if this case will really snap people out of it. Yeah, I wasn't getting the support I should have, because those are people that were with these camps here that we're speaking of. And there were a lot of people, though. I mean, I don't know. That story was so dark and dank that I was shocked, and I was like, I would have never even have been a fan of these people had I known that ahead of time. But I'm a kid, so how the hell am I supposed to know? I didn't know. And ew, no. But it was so horrible because they were doing like a lot of them. They got hooked onto drugs because the guys were giving it to them, and they were kidnapping them. They were kidnapping them. They were swapping the kids with all these dudes up in here. And they're glorifying this. They were wanting to be that man. And they were like outright saying they wanted to be a pedophile, like basically. But we're going to reword it. We're going to call it a groupie. That's a child. And I was like, I cannot. And they just, and then as I was talking about it for years, they go and do this movie or something to glorify this thing. And I was like, you know what? It's so effed up because government had it in their face, and at no time did Homeland go in and arrest the guys, right? They have photos of it, everything. I mean, it's insane. And the kids are like half naked and in the open, and they're taking photos. And I'm like, this is the most atrocious thing I've ever seen in my life. But I have to understand that the adults didn't protect those girls, and they sex shamed them, treated them crap, just all kinds of stuff. And no matter what, like, they could like those men all they want. It's that the adult men are attracted to children, and they took advantage of that. And they did not fare well. A lot of them did not fare well.